Hello, everyone, and welcome to this exclusive anniversary live streaming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave the thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So, let's start. 6 years ago, I was in complete shock. Why? Let's find out. On the July 15th of 2019, 6 years ago, as I told you before, I already meet Varg Vikernes in the country of France in Europe. So I was really impressive. I was totally happy. I was thinking and having some kind of thoughts, some kind of feelings after spend 2 years trying to discover where he lives. Fortunately, I do very well my homework. This is the physical proof of this spectacular mission called 4 beers. In these notebooks, I have some notes and almost all the information that I dig and I found on this investigation process. So 6 years ago, I was in France. It was on a early Monday morning, 9 a.m. to be exact on the time that I have this fantastic meeting with Varg. As probably some of you watch the video of my history meeting Varg Vikernes in France, I missed some kind of information during the first shot on this video. So I rewatched it, of course, my own video, and I think, oh, I missed this point. Oh, I forgot to share this information with all of you. So right now, I'm going to share with you in a very fast way this extra information. So some people ask, at what time did you get the selfie? So, well, as you probably check on some of my profiles on Instagram and on Facebook, obviously here in YouTube too, I took this fantastic selfie of, to be precise, the memory, that we have from this fantastic meeting with the Count Grishniak, better known as Louis Cachet actually, or probably you remember his first name, called Christian Vikernes. So we took this amazing and not popular, in my opinion, register on a photographic moment with the man himself, Mr. Varg Vikernes, and me during this day. So as you probably thinking, oh, this picture was taken 6 years ago today. Yes, you are right. 6 years ago, I met Varg Vikernes in France. So at that time, I obviously asked in a very polite way that if we can took some kind of selfie, or better known as a photography, to keep this memory with us. So he don't say I don't have any kind of problem with that. He was really polite and really nice to take the time to take the selfie or the picture that you are watching right now on the screen. So it was one of the missed information that, of course, with all the information that I want to share in this history, sometimes you forgot to share a couple of things. So today on this 6th anniversary of the meeting with Varg Vikernes on past 15th of July of 2019, I want to share with you this selfie on a physical way that we have this kind of proof that of course I am telling always the truth about my meeting with Varg Vikernes 6 years ago. Now continue with the description of this extra information when I told to Varg that he is like a father to me because I learned a lot of things from him. I told to him, so Varg, you are like a father to me. And Varg answered to me, oh, David, I didn't have any idea that I have a son in Colombia. So we have a loud, we laughed together. It was a really, really funny moment of us, of course, for him, and of course for me, and some people that I have the opportunity to meet him at the Finnish festival called Stillfest this year, 2025. It was like 3 months ago in the month of May. They told, "Oh, you are the son of Varg Vikernes from Latin America." So it was really funny moment, and some people obviously, of course, joke a little bit that father and son, because we are almost bald. So it was a really funny moment for, of course, for Varg and of course for me when he listened that he was like a father to me, and he laughed and he made a joke to me that he said, "Oh, I didn't have any idea that I have a son in Colombia." So it was really, really a funny moment for us. Another information that, of course, we have now 6 years after is that maybe a lot of people is asking to me, of course, and obviously sometimes that people have some kind of contact and some kind of interest about this Norwegian music project is what's next. So as you probably know, the Land of Tool, it was an 8-track album, digital album, if we can say that it was released on the past year, yes, on the 2024 or 2024, whatever you want to call. And this year, 2025 or 2025, whatever you need to want to tell, is that we have this new part of this album called The Land of Tool, but with another 4 new tracks. Maybe some of you are already listening those tracks on YouTube. So if you are not familiar with the new Burzum sounds, go ahead on YouTube and search on these new tracks. For example, the first single who was released on the last year, it was called The Reincarnation of Odin. And the new one, or the latest single, it was released from Varg Vikernes, it was called The Mount of Fire. So you are really, really recommended to listen those tracks. Let's continue with my notebook called For Beers Mission. On some people remember on 5th of June, 6 years ago, YouTube deletes or shut down Varg Vikernes YouTube channel called Tulean's Perspective. So it was almost like 1 month after that I meet Varg Vikernes in France, after YouTube shut down or closed his YouTube channel. As probably of all of you remember, Varg Vikernes have a huge family, starting with Tivar, Eloi, Bjorn, Baldur, Sobili, Maya, and the new one, Kit. So it has a big family. So at this moment, Varg Vikernes have 7 kids from his second relationship, we can say that, with the notorious writer from France called Marie Cachet. Also, they have a white dog called Isilva and another dog called Prunel. So they have 2 dogs, and also a white horse called Ghost. So it's a really particular information. Another extra information that I can share with you is most of you people talk to me that, oh, David, do you remember in which date did you found the information about where is the place that he lives with his family? Of course, it was on the 10th of April of 2018. So it was like 7 years ago that I discovered the exactly location where Varg has his house in rural France. So it was like an extra information for everyone that it was particularly interested in that. Now let's continue to remember this fantastic meeting. Some old people try to to remember that Varg Vikernes signed this entire collection. So we are now going to share with all of you who are watching this streaming live right now, and thank you to all of you to be subscribed on this YouTube channel, and so thank you to all of you who leave the thumbs up, and don't forget to share and express your opinion or comments in the down below section. So now I'm going to share to all of you, of course, the treasure, the discography of Burzum, completely signed by Varg Vikernes. At this moment, as you are watching, we have the first album called simply Burzum, the debut album, especially signed by the man himself, with my name to David, Varg Vikernes. Now we have the second album. Probably some all of you remember the Dead Som Enga Varg album, another fantastic piece on the Burzum discography collection. Now let's continue with the third one called Ibis Lisset Tar Os. All of these records were signed by Varg Vikernes 6 years ago during our meeting, as you probably seen. All of them are right now in my possession on CD format. The one and only, the fantastic, probably the most liked or the better album from Burzum. It's called Philosophen, the one and only Philosophen. Now we are going to talk about this fantastic instrumental album that it was recorded on jail, Daoudi Bars, especially autographed by Varg Vikernes, as you probably see on top of the cover. Now we are going to share with all of you another fantastic instrumental album called Hiloshkar. This album was recorded in jail, and as you probably see, is of course autographed by the man himself. After he released of jail, he released this fantastic album called Belus. This album is autographed too. So let's continue. We have another great album called Philosophen. This is the CD format of this another post-prison album, as we probably read and remember on the To Hell and Back Again book series. Now let's continue with another album called Kimstar. We have this fantastic album, of course, autographed by the man himself. Continue with maybe, as you probably know, my not particular liked or favorite album from Burzum called Sol Austan Manifestan. This is autographed too. Now we are going to talk about the soundtrack of the Four Beers DVD that I'm going to share with you after we finish to show you the CDs, and this is The Ways of Jor, completely autographed by Varg Vikernes too. This is the extra item. Maybe some of you know this. This is a compilation from Dark Throne calling Preparing for War. And as you probably see, upside down is autographed by Varg Vikernes too. Maybe some people have this question, oh David, why did you get a Dark Throne album to get signed by Varg Vikernes if of course Varg Vikernes is not a musician from this music project from the region? So, as you probably remember, Varg Vikernes contributes on some kind of lyrics on the album for Dark Throne. So it was some songs that he contributed on the lyrics side that are included on this compilation called Preparing for War. So that's the reason that I get this booklet to get signed by Varg Vikernes, because at the moment this was the only Dark Throne album that I have. Now some of people maybe ask, David, but what happened with Tulean Mysteries? Why you don't have this album autographed by Varg Vikernes? As you probably remember, this album was released on the 13th of March of 2020. So it was released 8 months after our meeting in rural France. So of course it was quite impossible for me to have this album or get this album autographed by Varg Vikernes, because it was released after our meeting 8 months after the date that I met Varg Vikernes. So this is missing autographed. Now let's continue with the visual that I have in my hands. This is the DVD, the film called Four Beers. It was autographed by Varg Vikernes and Marie Cachet, his wife. And this is the second booklet, or the booklet inside this fantastic DVD, Four Beers, to David Varg Vikernes and his wife Marie Cachet. To finish this discography, this is the most favorite album for me, Philosophy, and of course it was signed by the man himself, as you can see, to David, and he wrote his autograph on this size of this part of this vinyl, Philosophy, Varg Vikernes. So at the end, it was like 15 items that I carry with me at the moment of our meeting. Maybe some of you ask, oh well, but you don't have all the vinyl versions autographed, of course, because it was quite complicated, to transport all this stuff to get signed at that time. And 6 years ago, I don't have my complete Burzum discography on vinyl format, but nowadays I have almost, as you probably see on the back, some of these albums on vinyl format. So This is a really, really interesting collection. As you probably see on some of the videos, maybe is the only Burzum discography of the only Burzum collection autographed by Varg Vikernes. So 6 years ago, I was not in my home. I was in France having a fantastic day after meeting Varg Vikernes. So one, maybe some people asked to me that if I am ready to meet again him. Of course, I am ready to meet him in the future. Let's see what destiny have prepared for us. Of course, I need to get all the vinyls that I have right now available to get signed, and of course some of the books too, some of the tapes. I have a lot of things to. If there is a chance, to get signed or autographed by him, it will be great. But at least I am very honest, and I am only interested to get my complete discography full signed by Varg Vikernes. Maybe in the future I can talk to him again. I tell him that my pandemic time or my therapy during those corona or covid times, it was like 3 years ago that we have this not so good time with the pandemic thing. So that was my pandemic time or my vaccine to buy the remaining albums from Burzum on vinyl format, as you probably watched on the previous video. So let's remember how are now 6 years ago. So as you probably see on the back, we have the infamous vinyl version of the Aske. This is a re-edition from the Back on Black album from England. So it will be great to have this, for example, signed by Varg Vikernes, and extra information for all of you that are watching this live streaming right now is that I asked to Samot, yes, you are listening good, Samot, the bass player of Emperor, plays the bass on this album. And when I met Samot a couple of years ago, he refused to sign this album, this mini EP. Okay, I don't understand. And he say, this is not my band. And I said, of course, but you play the bass player here. You were the bass player here. And he refused to sign this album from Burzum called Aske, Samot, the bass player of Emperor. Maybe this one have some kind of bad memories to him. Let's continue with this. Another fantastic piece of art is the Dead Some Engavarg album on vinyl format. Now we are going to talk about the Ibis Lisset Tar Os. This is a picture disc edition of this album. It will be great, of course, to get autographed by Varg Vikernes too. Now, after that, I have two versions. The signed version of the Philosophen album, who is on top, and on the back I have a picture disc version of the same album. In the first album on top, the autographed version is a regular black vinyl edition. So I have one missing Philosophen to get signed. Now we are going to talk about the fantastic album Daoudi Bars. Will be great, to get signed this too, because it's really colorful, this vinyl edition. The other album who is very popular and very favorite for some of the Burzum fans is the Hiloshkar album, a very atmospheric and dark sound. This is the first album of he was recorded on jail, the Belus album, and of course will be great to get signed. This is a picture disc edition of this fantastic album. Let's continue with the Fallen album. It's one of my favorites album from Burzum, from the post-prison time, you know. And this is another great album called Kimstar. The artwork is some kind of dark, but this is one of my favorites albums too, and probably the last album where Burzum in a very music category we can say is the final heavy album from this Norwegian music project. Finally, this is the last vinyl that I get is The Ways of Joy. This is the soundtrack. Probably you remember very well. Some songs of this album were included on the DVD called For Beers. So as we can see down below, this is the soundtrack of this film made by his wife Marie Cachet. So at the moment, of course, I miss 3 albums on vinyl format. In the first place, of course, we need to buy the vinyl edition of the debut album. I need to buy the vinyl version of this Sol Austan Manifestan album too. And of course, I need to buy the vinyl album edition of this album, Tulean Mysteries, and we are waiting for the release of the probably the new album called The Land of Tool, who at the moment have 12 tracks. So thank you very much to all of you for watch and to remember this fantastic experience that I have 6 years ago meeting Varg Vikernes. We are going to open some kind of minutes to read your comments in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for leave the thumbs up. Thank you very much to all the subscribers who are right now enjoying this live streaming to commemorate and to celebrate 6 years of the meeting with the man himself, the Count Grishniak, Griffy Grishniak, Varg Vikernes. Cheers for the music. Cheers to all of you who are in the other part of the world. Thank you for the support. And from Varg, we can say thank you to continue his legacy, to buying his music. Of course, that is really important, to reading some of his books. Thank you very much for all the support that you are giving to him during all these almost 40 years, maybe, I think so, 40 years supporting his music to the people who were very lucky to enjoy the early albums of Burzum, who still have their own first press editions of these albums by or acquired during the 90s, as you probably remember. So this cheers and this toast is for you, for Varg, for the music, and for all the people who loves the music, the concept, and the legacy of Burzum and Varg Vikernes. Cheers. Now I'm going to read some of the comments that I am seeing on the screen. Richard Davis, oh, sick, you met Varg, very cool. Thank you very much, Richard, for your polite album. Brad Style said, this is the Ibis Lisetar Os. Yes, maybe I have some kind of a little bit of uh, lapsus during the presentation of that album when I was putting on the screen on the CD format in the first part of the presentation of this live streaming. As you probably know, it's a lot of information that we have on our brains, so sometimes we have some kind of little mistakes, if we can say that, but at least I try to do all my best and to get all the information on all the memories that it's been a fantastic journey for all of us, and to meet, and to see when I am so happy, when I saw some person, random person on a music festival with a Burzum t-shirt. So I say, oh, it's nice that some people is still, uh, showing to the public the support of this Norwegian music project. So if you have any question, if you want to share any polite comment, with all the respect, please leave your comment in the comment section down below so we can read your comments. If you have any question, of course, we have a couple of minutes to read your question, and maybe if I have the opportunity to answer your question, well, be my guest and leave your question down below. So this is a fantastic memory. This is a special date because for me it was really, really important, as you probably know. And I told you before, I am not the number one Burzum fan in the world. I am just a regular fan, just like you. But of course, I have some kind of lucky, and I work so hard to have this kind of meeting with Varg Vikernes. So I am so excited to share with you the good news that we are waiting for some kind of final aspects to release the new album of Burzum, who is hope will be released later this year. So we are really, really excited to receive this news from the man himself, Mr. Vikernes, who told to me that he is going to release this album as soon as possible. He is just finishing some kind of details of the label, because maybe there will be a little change about the label who is going to release this album. And as you probably read, some people are really curious on social media, and they read the Hyperborean language. So that is the name of the probably the new label who is going to be on charge to release the upcoming new album. So thank you very much to all the people who leaves the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to leave your comment from the country that you are watching live right now. This is streaming on this Tuesday night on the 15th of July of 2025. As you probably remember, 6 years ago I was in France having a wonderful time with the man himself, Varg Vikernes, and we are finishing this streaming with this fantastic memory of this once in a lifetime experience, and probably one of my best experience in my life. And let's see if we can repeat this fantastic moment with Varg in the future. I hope that he release as soon as possible the new album, so maybe the next year or probably in the upcoming years we will have, of course, a second meeting with him. But especially I am thinking to make just a special and private trip just for this long session, because as you probably see, there is a lot of remaining items to get autographed by him. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to finish this live streaming reading the comment of Letrox. Thanks for the channel, dude. Your collection and videos are incredible. And thank you very much to you to be a subscriber, to leave your opinion here. You are really, really important for the community of the Tulean Sorcery YouTube channel too. So thank you to all of you. I hope you enjoy watching this live streaming, sharing with you and having a little toast, to celebrate the 6 years of my meeting with the Count Grishniak, better known as Griffy Varg Vikernes. Cheers, and wait for the new Burzum album very soon.